Alrighty then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm giving YouTube a minute to catch up because, YouTube be taking forever. But yeah. Hola, Rebels. Episode 1, I think we're on 113. I haven't let you guys in my thoughts for a long time. I mean, I have been thinking about things, but I have mostly been mumbling. But here's a good topic that came to me today, and it's literally like fucking weird to me, but I think it makes sense. Like, I made it make sense, and I had to take some notes, so don't mind me. Normally I don't take notes, but I had to take notes because I was at work and I couldn't go on live at the moment. So anyways, so if you read the description, you'll know I'm talking about love languages and how they are interpreted as deadly sins. See, I took you for a loop on that one. Anyways, let's start. And I know I'm not gonna get everybody's okay on this, and I may not make sense to people, but I've made myself clear plenty of times on other videos that if you don't get it, it's not meant for you. Okay? Anyways, going in. All right, starting with, I guess, words of affirmation. Now, words of affirmation, hi Nahid, words of affirmation. Like, if you don't know what that love language is, it means like when you tell somebody that you love them, tell somebody that they're doing good, tell somebody, congratulations on this, giving them praises. Well, I mean, you can interpret that person that needs that love language as somebody who is prideful, somebody who's pride. That's their deadly sin. They need to be recognized. They need that I love you. They need that. They feed off of that. You clearly have a lot of pride. So that's their deadly sin. I know. It kind of goes hand in hand. But anyways, we'll skip the next one, but we're going to go on to physical touch. Physical touch is kind of obvious. I mean, not really, but kind of obvious. Where it falls under the deadly sin of, well, let's explain first what physical touch is. Physical touch is what, why do I need to explain? I don't know. I'm explaining it for the people that don't get any idea what this love language means. Physical touch is like hugging, kissing, rubbing feet, maybe giving them a back massage, something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual, but I still think it's related to the deadly sin, lust. There ain't no doubt about it. Like, if you need to be touched, I don't know, that's like what? Like, you're lusting, that's lust. You need somebody to touch you? To touch me? That's lustful energy right there. Sounds like a Scorpio. No offense to all the Scorpios. But that's lust. You're lusting for the touch. And touches can be very sensual and very sexy. So that's lust. You're lustful. And moving on. Acts of service. I feel like everybody should know what this one is. If acts of service, I'll explain what the love language is, and then you can probably guess what the fucking deadly sin is. So, acts of service. Acts of service is basically doing stuff for this person, like, you know, going to get gas in their car, going to washing the dishes for them, doing their laundry, folding their clothes, um, doing little things for them, acts of service. Um, I mean, we all know which deadly sin, and if you don't, I'm gonna tell you. But we all know what deadly sin that is. Sloth. Clearly, you're lazy as fuck. So, if you need somebody to do all the fucking chores for you or anything to show you love and you can't get up and do it your goddamn self, you are sloth. Yeah. So, I hope I'm I hope I'm keeping it up with you guys. If you're not here with me, you need to get here with me. Receiving gifts. That's a love language, you guys. That's another love language. I feel like this is so easy to realize what deadly sin it is. Receiving gifts. So I'll explain again what kind of love language that is. So basically, receiving gifts. You're going to give this person gifts, give this person like what jewelry, teddy bears, chocolates, gifts, just gifts. That person is greedy. The deadly sin, greed, meaning they just need gifts all the time, meaning they need a lot of gifts. Like, it's just greed. You're greedy. You want gifts all the time. And then I know there's only 5 love languages. So I'm missing one that I haven't gone over yet. Well, we'll get to that one pretty much last. But I know there's 7 deadly sins. And I know I'll get to the other 3 in a minute. So we went over pride, we went over lust, we went over sloth, and then we went over greed. So the last 3, which is one of them is gluttony, which is really hard to pinpoint, but I feel like as if you can put gluttony with acts of service and receiving gifts, because technically if food is an act of service, feeding somebody is an act of service, and also, making that person their food is a gift. Like giving them food is a gift. So this person's just, eating all the time. Gluttony. That's a hard one to place. I understand, but most people do have that sense of love where they need food to feel loved. Anyway, so, and then we're on to the last love language, which is quality time. Quality time. Now, this one is really hard to place a deadly sin on, because I feel like maybe it's the only one that makes sense as a real fucking love language, like a real language of love. But if you had to give it a actual deadly sin, I could only give it envy. And the reason being is because envy is some people, not all people, but I'll put most on it. Most people are envious of your time. Why? Maybe, let's say for instance, you are spending time on yourself, spending time with yourself. There's people that get envious of that. There's people that get envious of you spending time with other people. They don't want you to spend time with other people. So envious of spending time with, like, you ever seen somebody who spends time with their kids and other people get envious, or they're like, why you spend so much time with your kid? Why are you doing all this with your kid? You never spend time with me? Envy. It kind of works. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm making sense. But at the other side let's do the flip side of the coin. Quality time literally is the only love language that makes sense as a love language. You can never say you love somebody and not want to spend time with them. You can, but how many married people do you know live on the opposite side of the earth? Live far away from each other. Married and live far away from each other. Not saying that means that's a good sign of love. I mean, I'm saying it's a good sign of love. Like all the other ones, they're good signs too. I'm not saying, they're not, but the deadly sins fit perfectly with them. The quality time and envy don't really fit perfectly. It's more like a stretch, where quality time is more like, I feel like it's the closest thing to a proper love language, because most people, when they love somebody, want to spend time with them. And time, if you think about it, time's the only thing that we can truly give. Time. It boils down to time, not money, because you're not gonna have money. You can have as much money as you want. You're not gonna get as much time as you want. You're not gonna get as much time as you want. You can have as much. You can have as much clothes, anything. Doesn't matter what you. The most important thing in this world right now is time. And if you don't have enough time, or if you have only a limited amount of time, and you're giving that time to somebody else, you clearly have to love them. You clearly have to love them. So, time. Quality time has got to be the best motherfucking sign of love I've ever seen. At the same time, like I said, most people could be envious about that time that you're giving. So, envy and quality time kind of go together. But that's a stretch. Then, the last deadly sin. And this one is going to blow your mind. There's no quality. I've named all. I know I've realized I named all of the actual love languages, but the last deadly sin goes for the word love. And if you know what the last deadly sin is, wrath. Wrath and love are definitely opposites. And if you don't know what wrath is, wrath means anger, hate, darkness. All of that is the opposite. Oh, excuse me. Wrath is the opposite of love. Wrath is literally the opposite of love. So if anything, that just boils up everything. That's probably like the worst deadly sin. Wrath. If you have anger and hate inside of you, that's literally the opposite of love. So doesn't matter what all these fucking love languages you decide to do. If you have wrath, you're not showing love. So yeah, I feel like as if you guys should take those words into effect. And yeah, that's true. I agree. Yeah, I know. So I feel like you guys should take those words into effect and go out in the world and see who's displaying what deadly sins. Because I'm trying to kill all my demons. So that means gluttony, which, man, I love to eat. And I'm trying to kill my pride, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too proud. Fuck it. And then I'm trying to kill. Well, I did kill all my sins. Like, I like, what's it called? I fell to a point where I got rid of my pride. I fell to a point where I didn't eat. I didn't drink. No gluttony. I fell to a point where, let me see what else is on here. Lust. I didn't have sex. Envious, probably the one I had to work on. Envy was probably the one I had to work on, but I was working on that. I got to a point where wasn't envious of anybody. I'm working on that now still, but I'm not like really envious of anybody because I want to see everybody win. I do. I want to. I want to see even the people that doubt me. I want to see you win. Greed. Greed. I let go of that a long time ago. I'm not greedy. I just want all the money in the world. No, not all the money, but maybe a lot of the money. The most money in the world. Not greedy. And then wrath. Oh, you guys know I was angry. You guys know I was angry. And you guys know I let that go. I let that go. Or maybe it's still a little bit inside me. Maybe a little bit. Anyway. So, definitely go out there and realize when you get they come to you, when these females, these men come to you with these love languages, just take into effect. Like, think about it. Just think about it. Why are you asking for that? I mean, all of love is really self-love. Love is really self-love. You cannot go wrong with self-love. That's really real love, self-love. So, and wrath is going to be the opposite of that self-love. You're not loving yourself if you have anger. You're not loving yourself if you have wrath, if you have hate. You're not loving yourself. So, go out there and definitely pay attention. But yeah, that was just my thought today. You guys know I had to share with you. Walk through my mind. Anyways, I love you guys. Oh, by the way, thank you, Nahid. Definitely go check out my TikTok. It's about the same thing, but it's a shorter version if you don't want to listen to all this. I probably should have told you that before, but whatever. Anyways, I love you guys. The same mantra. Spread love. Think for yourself. Live free. Love hard, okay? But don't be fucking foolish. All right. Love you guys. Bye.